Missing someone with all your missing someone
So I feel like I could show you all these pictures, but I think most importantly what my goal is that, because you can see I have so many grays, and I want to be able to have low maintenance hair and not dye it every 2-3 weeks.
Right.
Yeah. And just have, because you're an expert in blending, so and I can show you all the colors I want, but I want you to tell me what's more ideal where I don't have to keep dyeing my hair. Right. I'll show
Yeah, let
you
me see the pictures.
It's all actually from all your Instagram. So
Okay.
that's from yours, but
Yeah.
will
I
that is that shiny? Would it make me look haggard? I want it because I'm always tired and working Asia hours. I'm up till 4 to 6 a.m. So is that color okay for me? I want something that would brighten up my complexion, not dull it down, because the grays do dull, correct?
I think having something that doesn't blend looks more aging than having something that does blend.
I would love to do that because if my grays grow, then it will be less.
But maybe like a little bit ashier.
What would you recommend? So I like a haircut, like, because
A little bit.
I want to cover my crow's feet. That always is so much hair. So maybe you might have this right here because
Yeah, let me see.
yeah,
I have that too. I have like a thinner side. Yeah. There we go. So this one particularly, she had a starting point that was really similar to yours actually. So I think that is more possible, and over time it's gotten so much better to where she can go a little bit longer in between appointments and it looks really pretty. I think we should start off with that other photo first, something more softer and dimensional, because you don't have like white. It's like pretty salt and peppery, and this is a little bit lighter than your natural gray pattern. That tone too, would you mind seeing slight violet hue in the toner? Because any type of silver toner, it fades out super fast. Like if I go back to that other blonde photo that you showed me, this one.
I think I saw on your IG that you did have purple hues. It was pretty.
Yeah.
But would that be okay with my complexion?
Yeah, it does. If I were to tone you like let's say you did get that light and I was to tone you that in like one wash, you're gonna see yellow.
Oh no.
That's how fast these
the
colors
orange.
fade.
I don't want that
Yeah.
rusty color.
Yeah, you're gonna see yellow if if you leave like that. So I always recommend doing it a little bit ashier, because what's lifted underneath the toner, that gray from my other client, is that yellow. And so you maintain it with like purple shampoo, purple mask, and she comes in and she's still ashy, she's not as yellow. If anything, it fades to like a beigey tone. But that's why I recommend doing a little bit more of a violet tone today, because when it fades out, at least it lasts you a few more washes.
Okay.
Because the violet gray is like a little bit more of a deeper tone to the colors you're asking for, and the darker and deeper the tone, the longer it lasts and takes for it to wash back to yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good.
And
what's the difference of purple and violet shampoo? Because I've got.
It's the same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. Just don't use anything blue.
Okay. But yeah, because it'll bring the red out, right?
No, the blue would make it green.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot of times turn green, and it just looks, it doesn't look good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we have a brand new client who is wanting to do some gray blending, of course. So we are going to be working on breaking up the dark that's throughout her mids and ends and trying to have something that is going to blend seamlessly with her roots. Now she doesn't have like too much like gray, I would say. She does have like probably 50% or so. It's not like she has any white patches, but it is pretty consistent throughout the whole head. So I'm going to go in with my signature placement. We're going to be starting in the back, doing a weave around the nape, and then I did a slice right above that weave with 2 diagonal backs. And after these 2 slices here in the back, I'm gonna transition into my center parting section. And since we are doing a full transformation today from dark to light as her first session, I'm going to utilize slices. And I am using the Foil Lab, which are these wider foils that you can cut to the length of your client's hair, and I found that this made it a lot easier, and I was able to pretty much cover a bit more ground while going through her whole head, which I love because it saves me a lot of time, and I'm all about efficiency. So for the lightener, I am using my favorite Danger Jones lightener, and guys, if you haven't tried this lightener, like, what are you doing? Go run to Cosmoprof and pick it up, because it's probably the best lightener ever. And they just recently announced that they were reducing the price of this lightener to help out the stylist community. So basically this lightener used to be approximately like $30, and now it's like $23, and is the best lightener. So what are you guys waiting for? If you haven't tried it, go run to your nearby Cosmoprof and pick it up, because this is going to give you some amazing lift. And this is one of the very few lighteners that is formulated with bonder too, that really helps keep the integrity of the hair while doing any type of lightening service for your clients. And this is really crucial for me, especially as a gray blending specialist, because when you're trying to do a gray blending transformation, you're essentially trying to get your client as light as possible. And that's where it can get a little bit tricky, is using the right tools to get you there. And I feel like I always have the best lift and outcome whenever I use this lightener when doing these specific transformations. I find that some other lighteners might not lighten as light enough, or they might dry out the hair too much, whatever it may be, that this lightener never lets me down and is pretty consistent throughout every hair transformation that I've ever done. So you saw in the back I did a center section, and I pretty much followed that all the way up to the top of her head. I am now going to be connecting her basically money piece to that part. So I did a few weaves back to back, and now I'm just connecting the money piece with some slices all the way. And that's kind of how I do the front and the back all in one go, and then all that is left is pretty much the sides. So after I finish up this mohawk section, I'm going to be going in and finishing up her money piece section, doing some foils around her hairline. And as I'm doing that, you can see my assistant separating the hair, because I love to do tip outs on this type of look, especially when we're transitioning from something that is so dark to something that is going to be light overall. I do love the effect that the ends are a little bit lighter. So lately, doing tip outs on any type of lightening service for balayage looks have just been my go-to, and it really helps to elevate your looks, make it look more polished, and just make the color look more cohesive, where the root is more blended and darker and deeper and gets lighter towards the end, which generally looks best even when it grows out too. So I did her money piece, and then now we're going to be going in connecting those sides. So the side parts, I'm pretty much just doing the same thing that I did in the back, doing slices, taking that all the way up. And you can see I did enough foils around her hairline on the side so that the side slices that I'm doing right now fits in the foil. If the section here is too big, you need to add a few more side money piece foils before starting this horizontal side section on the sides to connect the front and back. Otherwise, you'll have like a dark spot, or like if the hair doesn't fit all the way in the foil, you might just have some spacing or too much negative space in certain areas. So that's why I like to foil enough to the point where I can fit all of that side section into that side foil. So after I've done all of the roots, I'm going to be going in. This is my favorite part lately when I'm doing my foils, because this is just like makes everything look tied together at the end. And so I'm going in with my tip outs, and the key, guys, with these tip outs is to make sure that your sections are even thinner than your sections that you did before. Like, I know we did slices before, and I know I always say that we need to make sure that we don't take a section that is too thick because you want to get a really clean, even lift. But on these tip outs, you want to get a section that's even thinner. You want something that's going to be even more see-through, because essentially, I'm not bumping up my developer. The whole head, in the beginning, I probably diluted my 20 volume, but for the rest of the head, I just like to use 20 volume, and I don't like to bump it up too much because I just feel like the hair doesn't need it. And I don't want to put too much stress on the hair than I should. So I feel like 20 volume is a pretty good standard volume to use throughout the head. And by the time I do the tip outs too, I just use 20 volume. So in order to get a really good lift, taking a thinner section also helps with making it lift a little bit faster. I find when you take a section that's too thick, it does take a little bit longer to lift. So that also helps since we're doing the tip outs last. So I'm pretty much taking out her foils once any part of the foil reaches like a level 9 and 10, and you can see some of her root is a little bit lighter than the ends, and I am purposely leaving everything separated and just holding it up like that because sometimes I like to relighten the ends or just mush it all together and just make it look a little bit more even though it didn't lift perfectly even. But after that, I'm going to be going in and doing her toner. So for her toner, we are going to be using the Danger Jones gloss toners. For her root, I have been loving using the 5-1, which is a level 5 ash. It is literally the most perfect shadow root for any type of gray blending look because it fades out beautifully against their gray pattern. And especially since she had probably 50% amount of gray, this is going to blend so well with the highlights that we put in and grow out so well against her natural gray. And then I did one of my favorite just silver toners to overlay everything on the top.
Oh my god! I love it! I never thought this would be possible.
It blends.
Oh my god, it made me scream. Oh my god, this is great. This is gonna be so fantastic for I'm gonna cry. This is amazing.
Yay!
I'm so glad I found you.
Yay!
This is awesome. Wow. No, this will help last. I won't have to
And you don't feel like it ages you. I feel like it looks intentional and really
I
pretty.
look trendy and
Yeah.
stylish.
Yeah.
I have some style now.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
And people are now gonna think this is your natural hair color.
Oh wow, no, I can see how it's gonna grow and grow. And it's gonna get better and
You
better.
see how the violet? It's very subtle.
No, I like it. I like it. It gives you some character with the violet in it.
Yeah. I prefer it. It's gonna last longer and the fade of it is just better.
Oh my god, Lauren, I love it.
So I'm putting in some texture spray first. This way.
Oh, after
Yeah.
you curl your hair.
Yeah, and then I use a white tooth comb to brush it out.
I have to comb that over.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my hair looks healthy. You don't have that bleach?
And then I'm gonna do a really light hairspray. Just to the flyaways.
Oh my god! I don't want to laugh so much, my wrinkles are gonna come out. It's so beautiful. Yay!
You see the difference when it's curled?
Yeah,
You see the dimension more?
no, because you brushed it out. At first I was like, oh, but then I was like, it looks so dense.
Yeah.
No,
Now
it's
you have more
beautiful.
volume.
I just
It
wish I
looks
could
like so-
curl that way. I don't know.
So beachy now.
Alrighty guys, so here is the final look from that transformation. I feel like this is gonna grow out and fade really pretty with her gray pattern. and it really does complement her skin tone. Even though we did more of that violet hue tone, it's very subtle too. Like when it's wet, it definitely looks more violety, and then when it's dry, it looks more gray. And I do that on purpose so that it lasts really long, because these tones fade out extremely fast. But she absolutely loved it, and the blend looks amazing, and I love the fact that the ends are a little bit lighter just by a touch, by adding those tip outs. Alrighty guys, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in, and as always, I will talk to you guys next week.